Across England, there is a story whispered in hushed tones, a legend that refuses to die. It's one of the oldest and most unsettling supernatural phenomena in British history. In the misty fens of East Anglia, they call it Black Shuck. In the stark moorlands of Yorkshire, it's the Barghest. Elsewhere, it's known simply as the Black Dog. The names change, but the horrifying details don't. And for over 800 years, one part of the story has remained chillingly consistent. Where the black dog appears, death is sure to follow. This isn't just a documentary about a ghost story. This is an investigation into a phenomenon that has left a trail of fear, eyewitness accounts, and physical evidence for centuries. Most folklore is like a game of telephone. The story changes with each telling. Details are exaggerated, facts get blurred, and the original tale becomes a caricature of itself. But the Black Dog is different. Reports from the medieval era match accounts from this century with an accuracy that deeply troubles historians. The consistency is what makes this so terrifying. Witnesses who have never met, separated by hundreds of years and miles, all describe the same thing. They see a dog far larger than any known breed, with fur so black it seems to swallow the light around it. Its eyes glow either fiery red or a sickly burning yellow. It moves in absolute, unnatural silence. But more than anything, witnesses report an overwhelming, suffocating sense of dread that freezes them to the spot. And most importantly, they describe the same outcome. A death in the family or a close friend occurs shortly after the sighting. This isn't folklore. This is a pattern. The most famous and well-documented case happened on August 4th, 1577, in the town of Blythburgh, Suffolk. This isn't a myth passed down through generations. It's recorded in parish records, contemporary sermons, and historical texts. During a terrifying thunderstorm, as the congregation huddled inside Holy Trinity Church for Sunday service, a massive black creature burst through the doors. According to the eyewitness accounts recorded by the church warden, the beast ran down the aisle, its presence accompanied by thunder and darkness. It killed 2 people instantly, a man and a boy, who were struck down as it passed. Another man was left shriveled and paralyzed. The creature then fled, leaving deep, burnt claw marks scorched into the heavy oak of the church door. Those marks are still there today. You can go and see them. No rational explanation was ever found. The event wasn't treated as superstition. It was reported as a real, terrifying attack witnessed by dozens of people. If this were just a single, bizarre historical incident, we could perhaps dismiss it. A freak lightning strike, mass hysteria during a storm. But the sightings didn't stop in 1577. They continued decade after decade, century after century. Between just 1950 and today, more than 300 credible reports have been officially logged across England. Most of these modern sightings happen in the same historical hotspots: Suffolk, Norfolk, Yorkshire, and the desolate expanse of Dartmoor. They often occur on remote roads, especially those near marshes or ancient waterways. The modern stories are eerily similar. A driver, alone at night, sees a huge black dog sitting silently in the middle of the road ahead. It doesn't move. As they slow their car, the creature simply vanishes without a sound. In a disturbing number of these cases, strange things happen to the vehicle. Engines stall for no reason. All the electronics, the radio, the dashboard, the lights suddenly fail. Witnesses report feeling disoriented, as if time itself has skipped a beat. And in almost every one of these documented modern cases, the pattern holds true. A death follows within days or weeks. What makes the black dog so different from any other creature, real or imagined? Predatory animals behave in predictable ways. They stalk, they hunt, they attack. The black dog does none of these things. In most encounters, it doesn't even move. It just watches. And it only reveals itself for a brief, terrifying moment. Researchers have a theory about this. Many witnesses report that the dog disappears the very instant they break eye contact. It's as if being seen, being acknowledged, is the entire point. As if its purpose is fulfilled the moment you realize what you're looking at. This leads to one of the most disturbing aspects of modern encounters, the feeling of being marked. Witnesses describe a persistent, unnerving sensation that follows them long after the dog has vanished. They report feeling a constant chill, even in a warm room. They get the inescapable feeling of being watched, even when they're locked inside their own homes. Some have found unexplained large canine footprints appearing on their floors or carpets, with no possible way for an animal to have entered. They suffer from recurring nightmares, always featuring those same glowing red eyes. Then, inevitably, comes the loss. A sudden, unexpected death in their immediate family. In a terrifying 1989 report from Norfolk, a man saw the black dog on a country lane. The next morning, he found a large paw print burned, as if by a brand, into his mattress. His wife, who had been perfectly healthy, died of a sudden brain hemorrhage 4 days later. He later told investigators, "It was like death stood beside me for a week." Of course, skeptics try to find logical explanations. It must be a large stray dog. It's a hallucination brought on by stress or the darkness of a lonely road. But none of these theories hold up to scrutiny. They don't account for the identical descriptions from completely unrelated people across 800 years. They don't explain the physical evidence, the scorch marks on a church door from 1577, the burnt paw print on a mattress from 1989, and they certainly don't explain the statistical correlation with death. Animals don't leave scorch marks, and mass hallucinations don't repeat the exact same details for centuries. So what is it? Some folklorists have a different theory, one that places the black dog in a much older, more universal category of being. They believe it might be a psychopomp, a guide, or a ferryman for souls, a creature that escorts the dead from the world of the living to the afterlife. This concept appears in cultures all over the world. In Scottish lore, there's the Seaforth, a huge spectral hound. In Norse mythology, the blood-stained hound Garmr guards the gates of the underworld. The ancient Egyptians had Anubis, the jackal-headed god who presided over death. All of them share similar traits. They are guardians of death, they appear at boundaries between worlds, and they watch rather than attack. If this theory is correct, then the black dog isn't necessarily evil, but that doesn't make it any less terrifying. Perhaps the most frightening accounts of all come from those unfortunate few who see the dog more than once. In these rare cases, a sinister pattern emerges. The sightings become progressively closer. The first time it might be seen at a distance, at the far end of a field. The next time it's nearer, just outside a workplace. Then, finally, it appears right outside the home. In a chilling 2007 case from Suffolk, a woman reported this exact progression. She first saw the huge dog at the end of her road. A week later, she saw it sitting across the street from her office. The third and final time she saw its reflection staring back at her from her own kitchen window at night. Her husband suffered a massive, fatal heart attack that very same evening. After his death, the dog never appeared to her again. Across centuries of accounts, there's a recurring theme about the final sighting. It's different from the others. This time, the dog doesn't flee when it's seen. It doesn't fade away. It stands its ground, holding the witness's gaze. Shortly after this final direct eye contact, the witness themselves dies, or in some historical cases, simply disappears from all records. This has led some researchers to a grim and unsettling conclusion. The black dog doesn't predict death. It doesn't cause it. It arrives when death has already been decided. It is a sign not of what is to come, but of what is already in motion. Even today, in the 21st century, locals in East Anglia will tell you there are certain roads they refuse to drive on after dark. Not because of crime, not because of poor conditions, but because, as they say, that's where it shows itself. When you map the locations of black dog sightings, both ancient and modern, they align with an unnerving accuracy to ancient burial routes, old execution sites, and pre-Christian territorial boundaries. These are places that have been associated with death for thousands of years. The memory of the land is long, and it seems some things refuse to be forgotten. The black dog of England has outlasted empires, religions, and every attempt at rational explanation. It hasn't evolved. It hasn't faded into myth. It has not been disproven, and it continues to be seen. So if you ever find yourself walking alone on a quiet country road, as the fog rolls in and the light begins to fail, and you get the feeling you're being watched, think twice before you turn around, because according to every reliable account we have, the black dog isn't there to chase you. It's there because death is already walking beside you, and once it lets you see it, there is no record of anyone escaping unchanged. Thanks for watching. If you found this investigation compelling, please like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the unexplained. Stay safe out there.